Today on CarTraction we've got a very special video coming up with this, our 1949 Austin Pathfinder project. Now the car is totally complete, it's appeared on the channel several times in my restoration series, apart from one thing, which is the seat. We're not trimmers, so the logical thing to do is go to Mulliner and they'll whiz something up for us. Yeah, that is quite a crazy thing to say. So yeah, Mulliner, we've been invited to go over with this car and they are going to trim a beautiful fluted seat for this Austin Pathfinder, far fancier than the original. Mulliner is a very special division of Bentley. They manage the personalisation and bespoke side of the modern Bentley cars, and then also do the continuation of the vintage models such as the Speed 6 and the Blower. So yeah, a pretty special day ahead of us. I'm going to keep this intro brief because I'm really looking forward to going over, and let's get some fine Scottish Mulliner leather inside the leather Pathfinder. Well everyone, here we are very much behind the scenes at Mulliner. Feels really such privilege. We're here with Martin Murray, who's involved with a lot of the coachworks and the continuation cars. So how long have you been working with trimming at Bentley?
Bentley, 23 years in March I've been here, so yeah, been in Mulliner about 10 years.
So what sort of things do you get up to on a day-to-day basis?
Lots of things, lots of stuff. The PCG, Personal Commissioning Guide, where we spec the cars up extra for the customers, bespoke stuff. I've recently done 26 cars on the classic side.
Yes, the continuation.
Continuation. I've done the rec scene, which is there's only one other guy in the country that does that. He's
really?
Down in
Wow.
RC Moss is down in Bedford. So, and he supplies us with the rec scene. He's got the only one machine left out of 60 that ICI used to own. He's got the only one surviving machine, so he does 100 years later, rec scene produces that to date, yeah.
So you're very much involved with the modern era of Mulliner and also the continuation, the vintage era.
Yeah, that's correct.
But, today you're working on something pretty miniature. So this, as many people will hopefully know, is our Austin Pathfinder, and it will hopefully be getting quite a high-spec seat compared to what it was originally. So could you just try to explain, if you could show on the camera, what we're going to be doing?
Yeah, sure. So we're going to do a headrest here, which goes into the body. We're going to foam that up to give it a bit of cushioning. We're going to shape the contour of the original seat there and pad that up like a little cheese wedge. Then we're going to put a nice wooden frame here on the back like it was originally, and we'll put the pad on there, and then we'll attach it to the wooden frame, and then there'll be a trimmed card over the top just to finish it off nice and flush as it was originally done in its day.
Yeah, so originally these were just like probably quite a low quality, actually, mass production, just a flat, but we're going to be putting flutes on this. I think that panel is flat.
Yes,
and then flutes there and there. And then I've actually got the leather that we're going to be using, which is Scottish fine leather. This is oxblood, you can see there. And that colour almost perfectly matches the grille, which we've repainted, and it's quite close to the original wheels. So yeah, that will look excellent in fluted with a very high-end finish from a fantastic trimmer. So yeah, what do you think the first thing to do is? The first step?
Just make the patterns up now for the cushion, the back. We'll decide what width of flutes to do. We'll get that trim for you, so you can get that back in the car. Work on the flutes, on the frame, line them all up, and then you'll be good to go.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
So here we have the very first stage of our seat. This is the bottom part of our seat. Martin's just mocked this up. So as you can see, this will go into the bottom and it's shaped around the back like that, and the shape of the car is actually sort of like that, so that's why you can see we've marked here 5 to 10 mil. That's how high up the foam will come, and then because towards the back of the car it goes lower, we've got about 25 mil of fabric that's going to be here. So it's going to be like on a contour, this panel diagonal, and then it will sit level in the car, and this will be a lot higher quality than the original Austin, South Wales factory would have done. We've got some quite obvious tacks here, so I'm guessing that's something to do with how the original was attached.
I think it probably just had wad in here, the leather, and then it's just literally tacked through the metal with these pins that are obviously still there, some are missing, and then I would imagine probably just a bit of glue down here, which just goes behind the back of your squab.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is very much not particularly nice panel at all. You can see the shape is completely out, and we've actually made those plywood panels over there to reflect that, but we're actually just going to be attaching this directly onto it. And the gap looks quite messy. That's because this is all hand bashed and twisted and everything. But you reckon that the fabric will sort of
Yeah, we
that
can
out?
push that out with it, with the leather and that, and it'll fill the gaps in slightly as we push that back in.
So now Martin is about to take what's called a pattern of this panel underneath here, the backrest. This is the pattern of, as you can see, the unusual shape of the seat bottom there.
What we'll do is we'll just...
So this is to help you measure up a wooden frame
Yes,
that the fabric will attach to.
Yes, yeah. And obviously we're going to try and do it in one piece of solid wood, because obviously it'd be better than plywood. It'll last a lot longer.
It sounds like you've got some Mulliner grade ash hanging around
yeah,
somewhere.
We'll have some ash or some scrap piece we can probably use, which will be much better than ply, which it probably was ply in its day, hence why it's not there now. It's probably rotten away.
Very true, yes.
Yeah.
Very steady hand.
Yeah.
So you've been involved with all the trimming on all the brand new, effectively, vintage Bentleys as well?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Mainly on the Rexing, but I did the first Car Zero and Car One. I did develop the seats and pattern the seats, and then I just concentrated on the Rexing after that. And then the seats went to trim development. They did the seats for us for the rest of the heritage cars.
So I'd suggest you've got enough qualifications for our little pedal car.
Yes, yeah.
So now Martin's on to seat pattern number 3. Just absolute getting it to perfection for the little wood panel that will go around this aspect of the panel. So we've got that one there. Here we are, everyone, inside the wood shop of the Mulliner division. We've got the third pattern, which is a perfect fit. So this is, I presume, going to be ash. We've got all the scrap wood over there. And this is going to be about 9 or 10 mil, so that it provides a flat surface for everything to be glued on. Then we're just going to find, I guess, a piece of wood out of this lot that will be perfect for the frame for the backrest. There we are, the perfect piece of scrap wood, 9 mil thick. That will be going onto the car later. Cutting out the plywood base, the bottom part of the seat.
Yeah, so that's it there. That'll sit nice and flush.
Now Martin's measuring up the foam to go on the headrest panel. This will be the only non-fluted part, I believe. So we've got 20 mil thick foam that will wrap around it and then be clothed in oxblood leather. So you're just going to glue this on?
Yeah, I'll glue
that,
it on
yeah.
there for you, yeah. Oh, messy stuff.
So Martin's cut the foam nice and wide so that will fold over, and that will fill the gap in the quite disorientated shell around the back. So it's heating it will make it more pliable, I'm guessing.
Just so it'll stick better
Right.
once it gets to temperature. Helps the glue.
So we've got about 10 mil of this going over, and then that will be covered in the final leather.
Yeah, in the oxblood, yeah. Let's see how that's going to look now. See, it crushes quite when you get the leather on.
Yeah, it does
So
get
it
quite a
won't
lot.
be 20 mil, it'll just fill that gap that you want filling.
Yeah, so what we're talking about is that this is obviously all handmade, absolutely not straight at all, but the foam should fill it nicely. We've got the foam all wrapped around. At the moment it is a little bit too big, it won't quite cram into there, but Martin reckons that the leather will really sort of crunch it around and
compress it.
yes, compress it. If not, this is totally reversible. You can just take it off. But yeah, that is a really comfortable headrest
You can measure out the
for whatever kid.
measure out the flutes for the.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, yeah, we've been looking at the flutes. This is just scrap. This isn't how they'll actually be. They'll obviously be centered. Hopefully, you can see that 50mm flutes will be trimmed into the bottom and the backrest, and then this top bit, which is this, will just be a solid piece. Originally the car was all just solid pieces, so it'll be really nice to give it this treatment, because I bet no other Pathfinder has anything like this. This is the oxblood leather. So have you trimmed any of this leather colour on any of the continuation cars that you've done?
It's quite a popular colour, the oxblood is quite a common one that customers pick. Is it? It's very traditional oxblood.
Yeah, it's a lovely colour.
It's very, very popular with the customers, really.
So it's literally got a Speed 6 interior in it,
Yeah, yeah.
effectively.
And if you see, it's like the oxblood, but then this black is another layer of paint that gives it the old
Weathered,
antique
yeah.
sort of look, yeah.
Beautiful quality.
Yeah, Muirhead leather from Scotland.
Yeah, this leather is absolutely gorgeous. So that's going to be the piece for the headrest.
Yeah. Cover that and glue that on.
I'm guessing now you're just doing an approximate cut, and
Yes,
you'll put
that's
it
right,
on,
just- yeah,
see what the
I'll
excess is
oversize it.
like. Yeah. Sounds like really nice quality leather as well.
Yes,
Just the sound
yeah,
in the
it does.
scissors. Let's see how this goes then.
I'll flip it. I'll get a nice line down there. So we can get a nice. That's where your squab's going to come flush up against there. And then we'll pull it back. Oh, it's stuck to the table. We could go round the back. I think it'd be better to go round the back, because then it's a bit more secure as well.
Mm-hmm. So it wouldn't quite crunch round.
Too much, I think. It was a nice idea.
So raw edge means no foam. You're just going to go straight on.
I think so, yeah. Unless I shave it more. I think there's too much there, though. So it worked okay there, but then when we get to these shapes.
Well, yeah, because the leather's got to sort of compress into that. Yeah.
Let's see if we can do it. I've just seen a big scar on that as well.
It's all the old school methods, sort of trial and error, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
Put the motorbike on the lift, and then his girlfriend then moved in.
So we're just going to try and do this one raw edge, like you say.
Yeah, trying to.
No, fold
still trying
over.
to fill that gap, but.
Then if we can't, it will be
Yeah, it'll be raw
10mm
edge.
thick foam,
Yes,
potentially.
Let's shave that a bit.
Yeah, 4 months later, back. But he got that many points.
Let's see now if that's any better. I think it's a bit thick. It's a bit adventurous, 20mm.
Well, everyone, I think that is pretty much it for today. So this is the 10mm foam, or at least it's it for us.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, you've got an overdue lunch now.
Yeah.
So this is 10mm, and it still wouldn't quite crunch around. So what do you think you're going to do instead
So
of
I'm going to have
this?
to put basically about a 10mm border on there, because see where I've got these cuts, that wouldn't go around here without creasing, so we're going to put a little border on it, then have a nice flat piece of leather and a little border, and then it'll go around nicely then. So these
Great
screws
stuff.
are-
And then over here we've also got this wooden panel we made up from the third pattern this one was, just to make that, when that sits in properly, a flat surface for that all to go on. So yeah, thank you very much for what you've done so far, and
Sorry that
look
thought
forward
that was going to be simple and it wasn't.
to...
But yeah.
sometimes the simplest jobs are the hardest,
Yeah,
aren't
that's
they?
it.
Something straightforward than this.
Yeah.
Yeah, huge thanks Martin today, and look forward to seeing this amazing seat.
Tell you what, I'll just pattern that bit. Oh. So I can just
Today you join me on a sunny, windy day, a couple of weeks actually after the last clip. I'm standing next to our Pathfinder, which has a very lovely seat in it. We acquired the car for my A-level restoration project just over a year ago now, and it is positively transformed from how it looked before. Sat with no paint on it since, I believe, the 1970s, with its owner from 1953. So let's have a look at the gorgeous Mulliner seat. Before we have a look, I just want to say a huge thanks to Martin, the trimmer. Just stunning craftsmanship that's gone into this seat. Alan, the head of Mulliner, who's organised a lot of this, and Darren, whose initial idea this was, the head of interior at Bentley Motors. But yeah, let's look at this gorgeous seat. What we managed to do on the first day was sort out the patterns for all of these, the templates for want of a better phrase, and the panel that goes around this to create a flat surface for the flutes to go on, and also we were looking at getting some of the foam in this. We tried 20mm foam. It was too big to sort of get round these tight corners here, so we went with 10mm foam that was stretched over the back, and you can see it's just gorgeous. So no flutes, got the 10mm foam, just really nice feeling, to be honest. And then 50mm flutes along there and along the bottom, and I'll explain what's going on because there's something different going here, but it's just gorgeous. The fine Scottish leather, the beautiful stitching that goes around the edge. This is a simply stunning custom job. So we went back a few days later and collected all of the panels because we were only available to go there for the one day. And yeah, it wasn't actually the easiest thing to fit. That's because this being a lot more plush, a lot lovelier than an original Austin Bargoed. Was it Bargoed, the factory? South Wales, that's it. Yeah, there's a lot more going on here, which means that this panel has a bigger surface area than it did before because it's got so much more foam and so much fine Scottish leather, which means that when you put this against this shape, it sits lower than it used to, which meant that this, the squab or the backrest, would sort of not sit properly at all there. So we had to look at getting this as far up as possible and getting this as low down as possible. That was done by removing the two original hinges. You can see the holes there, and I've replaced it with just the one hinge there. That just brings it that little bit lower and it sits in there, and then this is self-tappers, I believe we put in to that just to get it as high as possible to follow roughly the contour of the back of the pedal car body. You can see the bottom of the squab, the backrest is loose like that, so that follows when you fold it forwards, and then we've just got this bottom panel here also with the 50mm flutes, which just sits in the bottom beautifully. It really does look the part, this. So yeah, do let us know what you think of the general restoration of the car, and of course Mulliner's absolutely gorgeous work. Cannot thank everyone at Mulliner enough. This is such a cool project, such a privilege to be able to do this, and just look at the final product. It is absolutely gorgeous. So do let me know what you think of the restoration series. It's had such a cool story. In case you haven't looked at it, have a look at the playlist on the channel homepage. Owned since 1953 by who we bought it from, right about 8 hours away in Scotland, and hopefully through a lot of work and what turned out to be a pretty decent, I think it got an A star, the project, actually, I should add, which is always good. We've created something really quite beautiful. Very unorthodox project actually for your sort of own thing. Most people do large essays on things like social aspects and things like that. I decided to restore an old Austin pedal car, and everyone, to be honest, really loved it. Anyway, yeah, so happy to have done this. A final thanks to everyone at Mulliner. It is just fantastic. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this series. Goodbye.